In this video, I want to talk about finding x and y intercepts. And as opposed to the previous section where we talked about graphing, here we do actually need to plug in numbers. So you can do this if you just remember one simple idea. Okay? When you're talking about your x-intercepts, the x-intercept means that y equals 0. When you're talking about your y-intercepts, it means that x equals 0. So if you keep this basic idea in mind, whenever you're asked to find x and y intercepts, then you should be okay. So let's see how that works. So on the board here I have an equation of 5x plus 4y equals negative 20. And I want to start by finding my x-intercept, and x-intercept means y equals 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 for y. And then what I want to do is I want to finish solving for x. So my first step here is I'm going to simplify this. Now because this is 0, this is just going to cancel out. It's going to go away. That's going to leave me with 5x equals negative 20. Then, in order to get rid of this coefficient of 5 here, I need to divide both sides by 5. That's going to give me x equals negative 4. And keep in mind, this is going to be negative because my top number is negative and my bottom number is positive. So since I have different signs, I'm going to end up with a negative result. Now, once you find that x value, you're not quite finished. You've got to write it as a coordinate point. So our answer here for our x-intercept would be the coordinate point negative 4, 0. And it's really, really important here that you make sure that your x value is negative 4 for your x-intercept, because that's what we ended up with as a result. X is negative 4. And your y value is 0 because by definition, x-intercept means that y equals 0. Now, we want to find our y-intercept as well. So, since we're looking at the y-intercept, that means that x equals 0. Remember, it's always going to be the opposite variable. So we're going to plug in 0 for x. Oops. So it should be 5 times 0 plus 4y equals negative 20. And because we have 5 times 0 here, this is just going to cancel out when we simplify. So we're going to end up with 4y equals negative 20. Now I want to divide by 4. And that's going to give me y equals negative 5. And so my coordinate point here for my y-intercept is going to be the point 0, negative 5. Remember, you always have to write it as a coordinate point. If you just put negative 5 as your answer, it's going to mark it wrong. Okay? And remember, our x value is 0 because by definition, it's our y-intercept, which means x equals 0. And our y value is negative 5. So in the next video that you watch, I'm going to go through another example of this with a little bit more complicated line to deal with.